What's up, YouTube? This is 82 Welcome back. I did a video earlier talking on Bill Russell's death, but this is my short tribute. I promise every one of my supporters, every one of my subscribers, I'm going to do Bill Russell a lot of justice. I'm going to put my all into this documentary I'm working on. Uh, yes, it's not anything production wise like ESPN would put out. Uh, I'm just a dude with a computer, man. But I've been reading countless books about Bill Russell, countless books about his teammates, his opponents. And for months now, I've been working on this, compiling my script, and I want it to be perfect when I put it out. So what it is a documentary. I'm going to try to put footage in there and clips from games that I can find, but it's covering his life from childhood up until his death. And I promise it's coming. But for then until now, this is my short tribute video. I just want to cover and take a moment of silence for Bill Russell. I think what people got to realize is how much of an impact he had on the game. And to me, it's really sad how, well, I understand most people are reacting pretty positively. They're giving him his proper due diligence. But there's a lot of people who are clout chasing right now on his death and trying to milk this. There's go on YouTube, okay? There's two YouTubers. One of them, she did a video where the headline is Bill Russell shot dead over a prostitute footage and video. And this bitch is just, I'm sorry, I don't like to use profanity on my channel, but let me explain. Like, she's using his death for views. And she didn't even know he was a basketball player. She called him an NFL player. What a stupid. I'm sorry, man. Fuck that. I'm trying to keep it PG just in case I have a younger people watching this. But fuck that. Another YouTuber who's clout chasing, some rapper who goes by the name Young Squid, who his music sounds like a fucking toaster having sex with an oven. Fucking mumble rapper. Can't even put together a sentence. One of his videos, he was saying he's got the inside scoop and that the Illuminati killed Bill Russell as a revenge hit because Bill Russell was trying to expose the COVID vaccine. I can't stand people who use someone's death as just an opportunity to look for attention. And maybe you could say I'm doing this right now because I'm making a video about Bill Russell. No, I genuinely want to give him his proper due diligence. And now that I got all of my thoughts out of the way, I told you about the documentary I'm working on and told you how frustrated I am with how people are just using his death to talk shit. And that rapper Young Squid, in his video, he calls Bill Russell boy. What the fuck kind of disrespect is that? You're talking about a civil rights icon, you know what I mean? Who marched with Dr. Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Went to Malcolm X speeches. You're gonna call him boy? Really? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. So, I got all those thoughts out the way. Let me just tell you. Now, get to the meat of this video. I'm sorry for ranting so long. Let me give him his proper short tribute. Anyone who doesn't know Bill Russell, I'm sorry. He really, really made basketball what it is today. I'm going to tell you guys in short why he was important in history. Let's understand, basketball in the early 1900s wasn't near as popular as it is today. It was mostly small leagues around the country. And there was a couple of attempts to make an organized professional basketball league. And one of them was called the NBL. Now, the NBL and the BAA, which was another one, merged. And this became the NBA in 1950. Now, you got to understand, during the time, it was still Jim Crow, still segregation. Black players in the early 50s were just used as tokens. Like, you look at Cleo Hill as an example. Coaches told their players not to pass to him. If there was a black player in the league like Chuck Cooper, they may have been better than all the white players. Who knows? But they never got an opportunity to show how great they were. It's fucked up, man. It really is. They weren't given the touches. They weren't given the passes. They weren't given the opportunity to show how good they were. And if they started playing at a level that exceeded what their perceived role was supposed to be, oh, well, they're just uppity. Bench them. Cut them from the team. You know, a good example of this is actually Ray Felix. He's the first black all-star in NBA history, and he had a lot of potential himself. But due to racism with the teams he was on, he didn't get a lot of proper playing time or proper shots given to him. So, why is Bill Russell important? Well, he didn't break a color barrier like Jackie Robinson. But you got to understand, Bill Russell was the first black superstar in the NBA. No question. He came, and all these sports writers, when he was drafted to the Celtics, they said he's not going to make it. And it was just mostly their racial bias talking. But they said he's not going to make it. He's too dumb. He's too slow to make it. He doesn't have the mental quickness to last in this league. It's a white man's game. But Bill Russell didn't listen to any of that. Not at all. What he cared about was winning. And this Boston Celtics team, they were good before him. They had Bob Cousy, Bill Sharman. But they didn't have like a good defender. And Bill Russell is the greatest defensive player of all time. I'll challenge anyone to that, okay? Even if you don't agree with me, even if you don't think he's number one, at least have him in your top 5. You can't leave him out of that. And he was an amazing passer, an amazing athlete, and he changed the game. I know you hear this all the time about players, so it's kind of not the cool thing to hear anymore. But Bill Russell really, really changed the game because the dinosaur era of the NBA, some people like to say it's the 60s. That's not true. Prior to Bill Russell, it was a lot of, in the 40s, right? It was a lot of old, I don't know why I said old, a lot of slow white players, right? The league average height was like 6'4". But, when Russell came in, they started drafting athletically gifted black players. It started a boom of black players. Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Sam Jones, Casey Jones, his teammate at college, Willis Reed, Walt Bellamy, Bob Lanier. Oh, he's a little later, but Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, man. Come on, it's just he started a movement, and the game became fast-paced because they tried to keep up with what the Celtics were doing. Fast-paced, above the rim, because he was an incredible athlete. Like, you see footage of him jumping over a guy from the free throw line. So shove it up your fucking ass when you hear people shove it up their fucking ass when you hear people that say Russell is a prehistoric JaVale McGee. Seriously. JaVale McGee can't jump from the free throw line over it, dude. I'm sorry. No disrespect to JaVale McGee. He's still an NBA player, but it's just the lack of knowledge of that era, and it's only getting worse as time goes on. But my point I'm trying to make is he changed the game to make it more modern and more recognizable to today. Not only that, he helped to integrate the league more. By the time he retired, the league was 68% black. Also, he's the first black coach in any major sport. So he broke down all these racial barriers that paved the way for generations to come. And another thing is, if you didn't have Bill Russell, you wouldn't have these modern players. Because you got to crawl before you walk. And these players today with their big contracts, every one of them should be thanking Bill Russell. Because all the racism he endured while playing, like his house being vandalized, when he bought a house in Boston, every single person on his street signed a petition to bar him from owning that house. I mean, it didn't work, but it's showing he wasn't welcome there. People in the audience throwing racial epithets at him, threatening his family, calling him a baboon, telling him to go back to Africa. Everything he endured, right, in the city of Boston. I could make whole videos on stories about stuff he went through. He went through that all. So why you sit there and call him a plumber? I don't know a lot of people today in this soft generation that'd be able to endure the type of shit he went through with his thick skin. And he put all that to the side and kept winning. He's the greatest winner of all time. He's got the college NCAA titles, the Olympic medal, the 11 World Series, or why did I say World Series? I'm sorry. The 11 NBA championship rings. Greatest winner of all time. So don't let his legacy die. Because the problem is when a generation of players is gone, they're no longer around to tell their stories or tell their perspectives. And the bad part about society is they gravitate towards bad narratives. So This is why you have people calling that era plumbers and saying that they were only 6'4" centers when we know it's not true. Couldn't be farther from the truth, man. And these players aren't here to defend themselves anymore. That's why I was really proud of Bob Cousy for standing up for himself, to JJ Redick and Jerry West standing up for himself. So Bill Russell wasn't just a great basketball player. He was also a civil rights legend and an incredible human being. Very charitable. And all the racism he endured, right? It would make a lot of people bitter, right? But not Russell. He didn't have a racist bone in his body at all, or a prejudiced bone against his oppressors. A story I heard was when he was coach of the Sacramento Kings. I think they were in Kansas City at the time. Anyways, it was in the 80s. And there was, I think it was Kenny Smith. Yeah. They were talking on the bus because Bill Russell had a rule when he was coach. You had to sit by him on the bus. And he was complaining to Bill Russell about all these European players. I don't mean like white Americans. I mean like European players coming over and playing in the NBA. And Bill Russell said, I had to fight to get in the door. You know? So don't make it difficult for other people to fight to get in the door. You know? Bill Russell really hated oppression towards anyone. His whole life, up until his death, he was a social justice activist. So he was more than a basketball player. So that's my tribute to Bill Russell. Don't let his legacy die out, because it's going to get tough coming up. You know, once, you know, that Celtics dynasty is almost gone. Bob Cousy's still alive. Tom Sanders is still alive. Bailey Howell's still around. Don Nelson. That's it, I think. Unless somebody wants to correct me if I'm wrong, if there's somebody else that's still around. But Bill Russell can only live on now at this point if people keep his legacy alive. So, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about the rant at the beginning. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope we all get through this tough time. Peace.